Make a DIY Bunny and Ducky costume from Toy Story 4 that is warm for Halloween night. Make the bunny part of the costume and add Ducky to the sleeve. I used free sewing patterns for both the sweatshirt and the pants in size 8 for kids, which helped keep the cost down for this costume. Cut the sweatshirt and sweatpants out of blue fleece. Cut the hood lining out of lime green fleece. I cut a front sweatshirt piece from the lime green fabric and then used it as a guide to cut a large oval for the front tummy piece. Using lime green thread, sew the front tummy piece onto the front sweatshirt piece. So you're sewing the green onto the blue. I used green thread in the top and green thread in the bottom because I wanted it to match with the green and not with the blue. Assemble the sweatshirt and the sweatpants as the pattern instructs. I used a serger for all of my seams, but you can also use a regular sewing machine and a zigzag stitch, which works well with fleece. Cut out 4 bunny ear pieces from the blue fleece. Use the size that you are making as a guide to how large your ears should be. I just kind of free-handed a tall arch for my bunny ears. Then use your blue ears as a guide to make the small inner ears out of lime green fleece. I just made a very skinny arch that would look good on the inside of the ear, and I cut 2 of those. Using your lime green thread again, sew the inner ear onto one side of the blue bunny ear. I just used a straight stitch and I was careful when I went around the curve of the ear. Cut out 2 pieces of stiff interfacing the size of the ears. I decided to use sew-in interfacing because that is what I had on hand, but you can also use infusible interfacing. Just make sure that it is very firm and stiff so that the ears will stick up straight. You are going to layer your bunny ears right sides together with one of the ears being interfaced and then sew it together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Sew slowly around the curve to get a nice curve. Then sew the other ear. Trim all the seam allowances and notch the curves, and then turn both ears right side out. Make sure that you use your finger or something that has a dull point to carefully poke at that curve so that the bunny ear looks shaped like a bunny ear. Fold the outer edges of the ear in to meet in the middle and trim any excess pieces. Then sew it in place with your sewing machine. You can baste it or use a straight stitch, and then do the same to the other ear. Place your ears onto your hood. First, do it right side down towards the front of the hood and pin it in place. Pin both ears on and then sew 1/8 from the edge across the straight edge of the ear. After you have sewn the ears on, flip the ear back towards the back of the hood with the front of the ear facing up and sew 1/8 inch from the fold across the straight edge. Next, take a hand needle and some thread thread the needle with a double thread, and sew the ducky onto the right sleeve onto the bunny sweatshirt. I did a couple of X's, just large basting X's, to hold the bunny in place and make it strong but easy to take off when we were done wearing the costume.